Hello everyone! Today I want to talk about how I made my show The Waterfall's Consequences. Maybe we should shorten the name down to TVC, so let's just call it that to save time. I made a video just like this back when I was done with my show Season Fighters, so I also wanted to make one for this show. Before we begin, obviously there's gonna be heavy spoilers, so please watch the show before watching this video. There's gonna be a link in the description with a playlist where you can watch all the episodes. Also, the show is pretty dark and deals with heavy subjects like death, guilt, suicide, so please be careful if you want to watch it, and also if you want to watch this video, since these topics will be discussed in this video. Now let's begin. You know how in movies, TV shows, games, etc., there's always sunshine and rainbows where the characters are happy, and it usually gets cloudy and rains when there's sad or dramatic scenes going on. It's very typical, it happens so often, so I thought to myself, imagine that, but as an actual part of the story, like a superpower, and then I imagined what it would be like to have a power like that. Before you ask, I did not get this idea from Encanto, I had this idea years prior, so basically Disney stole it from me. Just kidding, I love you Disney, but to be honest, not when you're being homophobic. So actually, I already had this idea in mind while I was still working on Season Fighters, but I obviously wanted to finish that show first, and I also wasn't sure if I wanted TVC to be made in the same way due to how hard it was for me to get motivated to work on Season Fighters. I just put this idea aside until I was ready to put more thoughts into it and how I was gonna make it. I eventually decided I wanted to show this story the same way I did with Season Fighters. I like the story of TVC so much that I felt like it deserved it. If you don't know what I mean by showing the story this way, I mean I could have probably just written it and published it somewhere online, or maybe use something else to visualize it. I started working on the script, and then when I was finished with that, I started working on the drawings. With Season Fighters, I made the backgrounds of each scene before actually putting in the characters and everything. This time, however, I drew every scene as I went, however I felt like doing it in the moment. There were a few scenes where I drew it a bit differently from what was originally written in the script. Some scenes in the script were just written off as just kinda surprising, or then there was things I added to the drawings as I drew them because I felt like it would leave a bigger impact, or be more realistic. For example, when Alina overheard that conversation at the bridge, in the script she was only kinda shocked, but when I started drawing for this scene, I decided that Alina would definitely feel a lot more horrible about the situation, so I made the scene a lot more shocking, which is more realistic in my opinion. It also foreshadows what happens later. I also don't think I wrote in the script that Alina was supposed to drop a letter to her dad, if I remember correctly. If you've watched my video about how I made Season Fighters, you might remember me talking about having issues with motivation. What happened this time then? I did actually have that issue, however, there's something I need to tell you first. This year, so far, I haven't had school or a job. Don't worry, it's nothing serious, I will start doing something later this year, but so far I haven't really had much to do, so I've actually been very bored. Basically, while working on this show, I would wake up every day, eat breakfast, do my daily commissions in Genshin Impact, and then afterwards I'd usually get so bored I'd be like, I guess I can work on TVC and make some more drawings, and whenever I got that thought, a part of me would hold back and say, I'd rather do something else. But what? I've got literally nothing else to do. I do have games I like to play, but I'm usually finished with Genshin Impact in the morning, and it's hard to come up with ideas as to what I can do in The Sims, and a lot of times I've already scrolled through the social medias multiple times in a day. So what really motivated me to finish this show pretty quickly is pure boredom. That doesn't mean I didn't like working on it though. Like with Season Fighters, it's been a lot of fun editing each episode. It only took me a few months to finish TVC, which allowed me to take a break for almost a month. I made sure new episodes would be released throughout the month of April, which was amazing. I haven't been working on this show as long as I did with Season Fighters, so the payoff isn't as spectacular as it was with Season Fighters, but it's still a good show regardless, a show that I'm really proud of, especially the message it carries. What excited me the most about Season Fighters was the big fight at the end. But here, the whole show's dark message is what's important. Now that the show is over, I do wish I had added scenes where Alina gets panic attacks, since it's very realistic to get panic attacks after hearing bad news or going through traumatic experiences. I really can't give my characters a break, can I? Here's some fun facts. When I made this story for the first time ever, I did it on Movie Star Planet. The order of each event happening is kinda different, but also Luna doesn't exist here, we never met her grandmother, and it actually had a happy ending. In this version, Calder did manage to get Alina off the bridge and save her in the end, and she even befriended Gina afterwards. Then, Alina, her dad, and Calder went to the island together. Boy did I make this story dark, a lot darker, and I love it. Honestly, dark endings hold a deeper meaning, and are often more impactful. Life isn't always fun, not everyone has a happy ending, sadly. Another fun fact, for a really long time I've had this idea in my mind of a scene where a cute little character has a funny word they like to say, but it ends up being their last word when they die, making the scene a lot more sad. Then, when I started working on TVC, I took this idea and put it together with TVC. After I added Luna to the story, I thought she would be the perfect candidate for this kind of scene. It would also push Alina into being suicidal, or rather give her a bigger reason into doing it and actually going through with it. I feel like when I made the story on Movie Star Planet all those years ago, it did make sense why she would be saved. This time, I wanted to make the story darker, so this time it makes sense why Alina did end up committing suicide, at least in my opinion. I'm already thinking about another story I have laying around, which also started on Movie Star Planet, which I could consider making on YouTube as well. We'll figure it out in the future. For now, thank you for taking your time to watch my show, to show your support, and for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, so thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!